morning, students. Welcome back in your SS class. Students, we have started the first chapter of history, that is the rise of the nationalism in Europe, and it will be the part 8. From the beginning, I have told you that it is the lengthiest chapter. In the beginning, I have told you that. Okay, so we have hardly 1 or 2 parts of it also. Maybe today it may be complete. If I will not able to complete it today, then in the next lecture it will be 100% completed, right? So students, let's discuss about this thing. In the previous video, we have seen the strange unification, and you can say the unification of Italy and the strange case of Europe, right students? In the last video lecture, I have seen this thing. So till now we have seen that the rise of the nationalism in European countries. We have seen this thing, means how the feeling of the nationalism it arises in the European country. We have discussed all these things, and we have also seen that that different attempts they were made by revolutionaries for getting right to liberty, and even conservative peoples. They have you can say that they did many attempts to establish their power over Europe. And we have also seen that the unification of the countries on the basis of the different wars. We have seen all these things till now in this chapter, right friends? Means different जो attempts थे, different जो प्रयास थे, वो अलग-अलग व्यक्तियों ने किए. Revolutionaries ने किए to get liberty. Even conservative peoples उन्होंने किया ताकि वो यूरोप में अपनी पावर को इस्टेब्लिश कर सके. और इसके अलावा देश को यूनिफाइड करने के लिए युद्ध जैसे पद्धति का यूज किया, युद्ध जैसे बेस का यूज किया ताकि पूरा कंट्री यूनिफाइड हो सके. We have discussed all these things now. Till now you can say that. Now अब हमारे सामने बात आती है, when the country achieved the status of a nation state, what was the next thing which gained importance at that time? And it was the how the country should be visualized. इस कंट्री को किस प्रकार से विजुलाइज किया जाए, किस प्रकार से पोर्ट्रेट किया जाए, किस प्रकार से प्रेजेंट किया जाए. दिस क्वेश्चन अराइज बिफोर द पीपल, एंड वी विल डिस्कस दिस थिंग इन टुडेज लेक्चर. आज के लेक्चर में हम इसी चीज को पढ़ेंगे कि हाउ द नेशन इट इज विजुलाइज्ड. ओके, नाउ आई वांट टू टेल यू वन थिंग दैट इन द previous classes we have seen that Indian artist and poet during the freedom struggle they portrayed India as a female figure that is called Bharat Mata, right? अगर मैं इंडिया की बात करता हूं तो इंडिया का को भारत माता के रूप में रिप्रेजेंट किया. Means whenever we say that Bharat Mata means we have a picture in our minds. हमारे माइंड में एक पिक्चर आ जाती है, देश की पिक्चर. Whether if you think about in a real life, it is not the same. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. But just only it was the steps taken by the different artists so that we can love our country. ताकि हम अपने देश से प्यार कर सके. That's why this concept, this thing is adopted. So during the 18th and 19th century, the artists they try to give a face to the nation. 18 और 19 सेंचुरी के अंदर जितने भी आर्टिस्ट हैं उन्होंने क्या किया, नेशन को. अब इफ यू थिंक अबाउट नेशन, इट इज अ एब्स्ट्रैक्ट आइडिया. ये एक फीलिंग है हमारे दिल के अंदर. सो द आर्टिस्ट ट्राई टू गिव दिस एब्स्ट्रैक्ट आइडिया अ कंक्रीट फॉर्म, मींस अ फेस. उन्होंने एक हमारे दिल के भाव को एक ठोस रूप प्रदान करने की कोशिश की, एक कंक्रीट फॉर्म प्रदान करने की कोशिश की. एंड दिस इज द आइडिया ऑफ नेशन. So during the 18th century and during the 19th century, the artists they tried to give a face to the nation. For example, if you think about this thing, they started portraying nation as a person and especially a female figure. Means उन्होंने क्या किया, नेशन को एज ए पर्सन के रूप में रिप्रेजेंट करना शुरू किया. और खासकर किसका फिगर था, खासकर था फीमेल फिगर के रूप में पेश किया. Here the female figure, whatever the female form is here, that was chosen just only to personify the nation. उन्होंने इसे क्यों चूज किया, ताकि वो नेशन को पर्सनिफाई कर सके. Now students, I want to tell you one thing here also, that whenever we discuss about English language, sometimes वी पर्सनिफाई पर्टिकुलर थिंग्स, हम कुछ चीजों को पर्सनिफाई करते हैं। सेम थिंग इन हिंदी, जैसे हम उसको मानवीकरण अलंकार कहते हैं, हमने ये हिंदी में पढ़ा है ऐसे ही, पर्सनिफिकेशन, इट इज द पोएटिक डिवाइस इन इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज आल्सो। सो दैट्स व्हाई हियर द आर्टिस्ट दे पर्सनिफाई द नेशन। यहाँ पर आर्टिस्ट क्या करते हैं, उसी चीज को लेकर नेशन को पर्सनिफाई कर रहे हैं। एंड इफ वी थिंक अबाउट दिस फीमेल फिगर, दिस फीमेल फॉर्म, इट डिड नॉट स्टैंड फॉर एनी पर्टिकुलर वीमेन इन रियल लाइफ। रियल लाइफ में ऐसा कोई पर्टिकुलर वीमेन नहीं है, इट डिड नॉट स्टैंड फॉर एनी पर्टिकुलर वीमेन इन द रियल लाइफ। Just only it was done to give a rough idea of the nation as a concrete form. It was just only done to give a concrete form of a nation, of an abstract idea. This was done just only to do show. So that's why they personify the nation. This was the basic reason. Because sometimes if we think about it, sometimes emotions can be arisen, you can say that. Emotions can be emerged just only by the songs and by, you can say that, by the different poetic things, right friends? So that's why the artists during the 18th and 19th century, they tried to personify nation at that time, and they started to portray nation as a you can say in a female figure, right friends? Now this depiction of female figure as a nation, it is done by the various artists and it became an allegory. Now question arises here, the important term here, that is, what do you think about allegory? It means that to express abstract idea in the form of a person or a thing. This is considered allegory. So here nation, it is depicted as a female figure. So the allegory of a nation, it is female figure, right friends? So this was done during the 18th and 19th century in the European areas, and you can say in the European continent, right friends? Now come to the last class, that is in 9th standard. And in 9th standard, if you think about it, the artist, they use female figure, and you can say they use female form to represent the idea of liberty, justice and republic. You have seen this thing in the 9th standard, that they use different symbols to express their ideas. So they use different allegory to represent different ideas, and maximum they use to female form, female figure, to represent liberty, justice and republic. To represent these ideas, different symbols and you can say different specific objectives, sorry, objects, they were used by the artist. Artist ने क्या-क्या different objects का use किया? I'll give you one example here. The symbol used for liberty, they were red cap and broken chain. Now you can see this is broken chain and this is red cap. Think about this situation, and in the 9th standard you have discussed these things. These two symbols, they were used to show the liberty, means freedom. Broken chain is here, it is symbolized that we are free, and this you can say that this cap, it was worn by the slave person who you can say that declared themselves as a free person, right friends? We have seen in the 9th standard this thing. And in the same manner, to represent justice, it is generally seen that a blindfolded woman carrying a pair or a weighing scale. आज भी देखते हैं हम, जब कभी भी आपके सामने कोई अगर मैं बात करता हूं, कभी भी आपने कभी कोर्ट का सीन देखा है तो उसमें अ ब्लाइंड फोल्डेड वीमेन कैरिंग अ वेइंग स्केल, ये आपको देखने को मिलती है. नाउ यू कैन सी दिस पिक्चर. दिस इज द सिंबल ऑफ द जस्टिस, right friends? So in this way, different female figures and you can say different female forms, they were invented by the artist in the 19th century to represent nation. Like Bharat Mata in India, same thing in also European country. So in your 10th standard, two female allegory, it is represented the nation. So what were these allegories? Let's discuss all these things. In France, the female figure which was used to describe nation, it was given the name of the Marine. It was given the name of Marine. Means जैसे इंडिया में भारत माता है, ऐसे ही फ्रांस में क्या हुआ, फीमेल फिगर मैरिन थी. and she was drawn with the characteristics of liberty and the republic, that is red cap, tricolor, and cockade. Now you can, and right students, you can see this picture. If we think about Marin, she was drawn with the characteristics that of liberty, means it shows that we are free as a nation, and it also shows that republic country. That's why it has worn red cap, tricolor was also there, and cockade hat also there. And if we think about this statue of Marin, it was these were erected at various public places in France. फ्रांस के अलग अलग प्लेसेस पे इसको आप सबको स्थापित कर दिया गया था ताकि पीपल को पता चले कि we are living in a free country. And this was done just only to remind the public people, you can say to public, of the national symbol of the unity. These were the symbols which shows the unity of the nation. Right, friends? And even the Marin image, they were marked on the coins and stamps also. जो Marin के images थी, जो हमारे coins होते हैं या जो उस वक्त पोस्ट ऑफिस की जो स्टैम्प्स हुआ करती थी उनके ऊपर भी मार्क बनाया गया, so that the people can always remind that these were the symbols of the national unity. Right, friends? तो फ्रांस के अंदर जो फीमेल फिगर यूज किया गया था, it was Marin, and she has different characteristics like liberty and republic, like she has having red cap, tricolor, and cockade also. And it was this figure, it was established in a different place in France, so that everybody can remind it that we are living in a single country and we must be united, so that we can make our country a united country in this way. Right, friends? Now at the same time, in Germany, a female figure also used to depict Germany as a nation, and it is considered, and you can say it was known as a Germania. This was Germania. At France, it is Marin, but in German, it is Germania. And if we think about Germania, it is generally shown wearing a crown oak leaves. If you see the picture of the Germania, she has worn a crown that is of oak leaves. And in German, the oak stands for heroism. This is the most important thing. You have 1 marks question that what does oak represent in German? So it represents heroism in German. Now you can see the picture of Germania. Right, friends? So in this way, in your chapter, and you can say in the 10th standard, these two female allegories were used to represent nation. The first in France, that is you can say Marin, and the second one in Germania, that is in Germany. And these two female allegories, they were used to represent nation, so that they can feel that themselves united. Right, friends? Now students, you have one question for, and this question is for you. Now compare these female allegory to Bharat Mata. Compare these allegory to Bharat Mata. This question is for you, and you have to attempt this question by yourself. Right, friends? Now in this way, now we know about the countries got unified and they became as a nation state, and they also personified as a female figure. हमने ये सब देख लिया है. But the question here arises that after becoming the nation state, did they continue to be liberal democratic nation, or they turn into a something else? We have one important question. Means when the country they became the nation state, did they continue to be a liberal democratic country, or they turn into a different area? We have to discuss here. And if you think about it, well, yes, after becoming the nation state, the country began to extend their boundaries in order to increase their power and to influence over the other region of the world also. That's why this gave the birth of the imperialism. ये idea जो है वो imperialism को बढ़ावा देता है. Means first of all, in Europe there was a feeling of nationalism, and they became the nation state. After becoming the nation state, these countries tried to extend their political boundaries, and they also extended their power also. That's why they tried to influence the other areas also. And this incident give the birth of the imperialism. So we have one question, what is imperialism? So we have to study this thing. Now think about it, that the rise of the nationalism. During the last quarter of the 19th century, a new political change was noticed. And what was this political change? Nationalism no longer retained its idealistic liberal democratic sentiment of the first half of this century. Means 19th century के अंदर हमने एक नई चीज देखी, जो लिबरल डेमोक्रेटिक पीपल थे उनके सेंटिमेंट थे, द कंट्री मस्ट बी अ नेशन स्टेट, एवरीबॉडी मस्ट बी फ्री. हम ये बात डिस्कस कर रहे थे. बट इफ यू थिंक अबाउट द फर्स्ट हाफ ऑफ द सेंचुरी, दीज सेंटिमेंट्स वर चेंज्ड. During this period, the nationalist groups, they became highly intolerant towards each other. They were constantly in conflict with each other. They were attacking with each other. Even the major European powers, they tried to take the advantage of this in realizing their goal of imperialism. So they started this policy. If we think about imperialism, it is a policy of the extending a country's power and influence with the help of the military force or other means. अगर मैं इंपीरियलिज्म की बात करता हूं, केवल ये इंपीरियलिज्म ही ऐसी चीज थी जिसकी वजह से इंडिया एक कॉलोनियल कंट्री बना. ये इंपीरियलिज्म ही ऐसी पॉलिसी थी जिसकी वजह से फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर जैसी सिचुएशन क्रिएट हुई. This is the imperialism. It is a policy to extend a country's power and to influence the other countries with the help of military and with the help of other means. This policy, it is called imperialism. ये एक ऐसी पॉलिसी है जहां पर एक देश नेशन स्टेट में कन्वर्ट हुआ, उसके बाद उसने अपने देश की पावर को इंक्रीज किया, देन उसके बाद क्या, उसने मिलिट्री फोर्स के माध्यम से दूसरे देशों पर अधिकार करना शुरू कर दिया. एंड इट स्टार्टेड टू एक्सप्लॉइट दोस कंट्रीज, और उसने उन कंट्रीज को एक्सप्लॉइट करना शुरू कर दिया. दिस पॉलिसी वाज कंसीडर्ड द इंपीरियलिज्म, एंड ड्यू टू दिस पॉलिसी इंडिया बिकेम अ कॉलोनियल कंट्री. इसी की वजह से इंडिया जो था वह ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट का उपनिवेश बन गया. They started to exploit these countries. Due to this policy, the First World War, situation of the First World War, it was created. Right, friends? Now the nationalism, it became imperialism. अब nationalism क्या बन गया था? Imperialism बन गया था. Now we have to focus on the Balkan region, and it is the most desired area to fulfill the imperialist goals by the European people. अपनी इंपीरियल फीलिंग्स को पूरा करने के लिए जो मेन आपका कह सकते हो मेन फोकस पॉइंट बना, इट वाज द बाल्कन रीजन. एंड इफ यू थिंक अबाउट द बाल्कन रीजन at that time, if you think about it, it was a region of the geographical and ethnic variation. Right now in the modern days, Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, Greek, Bosnia, these were the countries who were considered at that time Balkan regions, and the inhabitants of these areas, they were broadly known as the slaves. उन्हें दास माना गया, slaves माना गया. This is the 1 marks question, and आपके सामने यहाँ पे एक क्वेश्चन आएगा, and it is very important for the board perspective that explain the ethnic tension of the Balkan region, right? And Balkans inhabitants were also considered dash, so the name of it slaves. Romania, Bulgaria, Albania, and Greek, if we think about these areas, these were the Balkans areas, and all the European powers, they wanted to get these areas. हर एक व्यक्ति इनको influence करना चाहता था. So the Balkan was the regions that was under the control at that time Ottoman Empire. And Ottoman Empire, I have told you that it was a Muslim empire. I have already told you that all the European power, they wanted that maximum part of Ottoman Empire, they must be in the hand of themselves, so that they can exploit that particular area. They can use the resources of that particular area. That's right. So the Balkan region, at that time, it was under the Ottoman Empire. It means it was under the British Empire. And if you think about Ottoman Empire, it was the empire from which Greek took its independence. ये वही empire है जिससे Greek ने independence ली थी. When we have discussed about the independence war of the Greek, so at once it was under Greek was under the Ottoman Empire, and the spread of the idea of the romantic nationalism and the fall of the Ottoman Empire, it resulted a high tension in the Balkan region. जिस वक्त मुस्लिम एम्पायर, इट मींस जिस वक्त ओटोमन एम्पायर कमजोर पड़ गया, तो ओटोमन एम्पायर का हर एक देश अपने आप को इंडिपेंडेंट करना शुरू कर दिया. They started to get independence and to try to get more and more areas. So ethnic tension highly वहां पर क्रिएट हो जाती है, और ये टेंशन सबसे ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम वहां पर क्रिएट करती है when the European power they started to interfere in these things, when the situation became worse. Although the Ottoman Empire they tried hard to strengthen itself during the 19th century. Ottoman Empire ने कोशिश किया पूरे 19th century के अंदर कि वो अपने आप को मजबूत कर सके, but it could not succeed. वो सफल नहीं हो पाया. And the region with the European subject under its control, they began to separate away from it, and they started to form up new independent states. वो नए independent states बनाना शुरू करने लगे. And the Balkan people, they stress on independence on the basis that they were once independent nations. So that's why they must be an independent. So the rebellion started struggling so they can get again back independence. इसलिए हर जगह पर जो रिबेलियन एक्टिविटीज थी वो होने लगी पूरे के पूरे ओटोमन एम्पायर के अंदर, पूरे के पूरे बाल्कन रीजन के अंदर. मींस ये बात है जब ओटोमन एम्पायर कमजोर पड़ गया था. Okay, now as different Slavic nationalists they were attempting hard to gain independence. Now a situation of the conflict it arose because the Balkan states now they were interested to extend their territorial limits also. जो बाल्कन एरिया का जो भी देश इंडिपेंडेंट होता वो अपनी पावर को एक्सपेंड करना शुरू कर देता, इसकी वजह से प्रॉब्लम्स भी हो गई. सो ड्यूरिंग दिस पीरियड ऑफ टाइम, मींस अगर हम बात करते हैं इस टाइम पीरियड के दौरान में, द सिचुएशन बिकेम मोर इंटेंस बिकॉज वन साइड द बाल्कन्स वर एंटरिंग इनटू राइवलरीज, बट ऑन द अदर साइड द यूरोपियन केम इनटू द सीन. सिचुएशन बिकेम वर्स हियर. पहला तरीका था ओटोमन एम्पायर वीक हो गया, सो बाल्कन जो पीपल थे दे ट्राई टू गेट इंडिपेंडेंस. व्हेनेवर दे गॉट इंडिपेंडेंस, जब उनको इंडिपेंडेंस मिल गई, सो दे ट्राई टू एक्सपेंड इट्स पावर. सो देयर वाज अ राइवलरी अमंग देम, बट एट द सेम टाइम यूरोपियन केम इनटू दिस सीन, एंड व्हेन यूरोपियन पावर एंटर्ड इनटू राइवलरी विद ईच अदर and they established their trade and colonies in the Balkan regions, they wanted this thing. So the power like Russia, Germany, England, Austria and Hungary, they were keen to establish their own power over the Balkans. Right, friends? So in this way, these European powers, they entered in these Balkan regions, and Maxim wanted to establish its own power over Maxim part of the Balkans. So this resulted a series of war that ended with the beginning of the First World War. मींस अब यूरोपियन पावर में आपस में झगड़ा होने लगा, जिसकी वजह से फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर की सिचुएशन क्रिएट हो गई. So that's why I told you that the Balkan region, it was most important this thing, and the imperial feelings, it was most important thing. Because सबसे पहले नेशनलिज्म की फीलिंग थी, after then it became an imperialistic feeling, then it created ethnic tension, that's why it resulted the First World War. इसकी वजह से फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर जो था वो क्रिएट हो गया. Right, friends? So the concept of the nationalism supported by the imperialism, and now it became a region of the great disaster in Europe, not in Europe, in all over world, that is in 1914, and it was considered the First World War. During the 19th century, many colonized countries, they began to oppose the imperialistic countries also. So the anti-imperial movement that developed everywhere, they were considered now nationalist feeling. अब इंपीरियल मूवमेंट के खिलाफ जो मूवमेंट स्टार्ट हुई वो अब नेशनलिज्म की फीलिंग क्रिएट करता है. And it is so because all of them, they were struggling to form independent nation state, and they had also a sense of collective national identity and unity. Right, friends? यही चीज जो थी वो हमारे दूसरे देश के अंदर थी. आप कह सकते हो यही चीज जो थी हमारे देश के अंदर आई. केवल इस एंटी इंपीरियल मूवमेंट के माध्यम से, एंटी कॉलोनियल मूवमेंट के माध्यम से हमारे देश में नेशनलिज्म की फीलिंग क्रिएट होती है. So they were not aiming to follow the idea of the imperialism. Means all the colonial country, they did not follow the idea of the imperialism. European ideas of the nationalism, they were not seen being repeated anywhere, as people everywhere, they had their own concept of the nationalism. यूरोपियन पीपल ने नेशनलिज्म का कंसेप्ट अडॉप्ट किया, देन वो आपका इंपीरियल फॉर्म में कन्वर्ट हो गया। बट जब इंडिया जैसे देश के अंदर या जितने भी कॉलोनियल कंट्रीज थी, जब उन्होंने अपने देश के अंदर एंटी इंपीरियल मूवमेंट स्टार्ट की, सो इट वाज द बेसिक रीजन ऑफ द नेशनलिज्म इन द फीलिंग ऑफ द नेशनलिज्म इन दीज एरियाज, बट दे नेवर रिपीटेड द प्रोसेस ऑफ द इंपीरियलिज्म इन देयर ओन कंट्री। All these event and process, they came up with the idea of the nation state, and they said that it is a natural or universal aspect. ये एक natural or universal aspect है that every country must be a nation state. That stands, but they never follow the same policy of the European, because in European country the idea of the nationalism, it was changed into you can say that it was turned into imperialistic feelings. Now, my dear students, this chapter is over. So I'll see you in the next video lecture and in the next next chapter. I hope everything is clear to all of you. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Have a nice day.